I know y'all been seeing the TikTok challenge. The 50-year-old women, 50-year-old black women, 50-year-old white women. I'm a 50-year-old black man. I'm 50 years old. So what is it like to be a 50-year-old black man? It's frustrating. Very frustrating. Now, even though some of us live great lives, great, great lives, it's frustrating because it's an identity crisis, right? And what we get to figure out is how we're going to solve the identity crisis. The number one thing, less than half of us have children. It's only 46% of us have children. So the notion that we this, that, and the third, half of us don't even have children. And if you Google the information, it'll tell you that we spend more time with our children than any other group of men. And that's in America. I don't know what they do in other countries. Another thing is, there's two things that we hate. Coonery and buffoonery. We hate it. What's coonery? Or being a coon? That's when you say negative things about us that's not true. We hate it. When I say we hate it, we hate it. With a passion, we hate it. What's buffoonery? Ignorance. Foolishness. When you do things unnecessarily, say things unnecessarily, we hate it. You ever notice people always say, well, men, they don't talk that much. This, that, and the third. You know why? Because we think sometimes you should already know. Really. A lot of things we think you should already know. Somebody should have taught you. But even in today's household, where there are men in the house, you still don't know how to pick up tools. You still don't watch your father. You know what I'm saying? And that's frustrating when you have young men that don't even know how to change flats. So those of y'all that do, we commend you because you're on the path to being a man. A lot of y'all, your hands too soft. You don't deal with disaster well. You don't deal with shortcomings well. You don't have the mental capacity or the emotional capacity to stay strong. People always say, oh, you should cry. No, don't cry. Tighten up. Don't lighten up. Tighten up. Because whatever made you cry, it'll make you cry again. What you gonna do? Keep crying? Nah, man, don't do that. He gonna either get wiser or harder. One of the two. Now, back to this coonery. Social media, bro, is one of the biggest things that hinder black prosperity, bro. It do. Because you get a lot of people, a grand audience to tell lies, and people go along with it. A lot of these black commentators, or should I say black imitators, black men, they're not even worth listening to. So I'm gonna explain something to you, right? I come from what you would call the crack era. There would be 1985 all the way up to the early 2000s, right before fentanyl and heroin reemerged, right? So I was born in 1975, so that's like a few years, not even a decade after Martin Luther King was killed. So that means the things that he fought for, I was able to realize that it would further my cause. You understand what I'm saying? So as we as black people continue to fight and climb this ladder in America, the leaders of the movement had their faces blown off. Now, don't forget that not before that. The women were strung up and their stomachs were cut open while they were pregnant and the babies fell on the ground. You understand what I'm saying? And they had a process called buck breaking. It's when you rape a man. Yeah, so people say, oh, y'all ought to forget that, get over it. What if we hung some of y'all women up and cut them open? How long is it going to take you to forget about that? See, what people fail to realize is some things are what you call ongoing, right? So I want you to Google everything I'm saying. You can Google it, or you can ask ChatGPT. So say for instance, if you Google white home ownership, it's like 70 something percent. Black home ownership, 40 something percent. But if you turn right back around and you Google banking scandals against black American homeowners, it don't give you the data because it say that it's ongoing and it lists every major bank. So you go into a bank overqualified to get what it is you're trying to buy, they'll turn you down. Whereas somebody else can come in, don't have the money, the qualifications, or the credit, approved. So that means all your hard work is in vain. But on the flip side of that coin, why you think them people want the older people to go in debt and they know they can't pay for something? You understand what I'm saying? Traditionally, as black Americans, we don't go into debt. So that's why a lot of financial situations don't affect black America, because we traditionally, we shun debt. Now, here's the thing, some more coonery. When foreign people come here, they had audacity to say, "Are we doing better than you?" That would be like me going to your country saying, "Damn, man, what are y'all doing? Y'all didn't build a system. Y'all didn't fight for nothing." You see, what people fail to realize is when you come here, the things that you can do, somebody had to fight for it. They just didn't sign a piece of paper and it happened. No, it didn't happen like that. People actually died, was blown up with their children. Take Martin Luther King, for instance. He was executed. Everybody know that. But his mother was executed as well. His brother executed as well. Shot down. But, you got to do a little bit of digging and you'll know that. Some more of this coonery is that you have people giving you half facts. You know what I'm saying? Half facts. A lot of this stuff, I ain't even going to go into it because it'll mean I had to demean somebody else. And I ain't going to do that. Another thing is, what's frustrating is that, like, say for instance, you see all these videos, social media basically, where women get on here and say, "Oh, I had to go to work and listen to the boss, and I gotta come home, listen to my man, I gotta do this and that." First of all, if you got a job, the boss may or may not be a man. So if you gotta go to work and listen to a woman, what's your excuse then? I don't get it. And if you do live with a man that's a man, men don't live in filth. You understand? Men don't live in filth. So if I get home before you, more than likely the house gonna be clean. Or if I'm here and you not here, when it's my time with the house, see, people have time with their homes, especially if you work a different shift. So when your woman at home with the home, she do whatever she do. Then when you the man at home with the house, he do what he does. A man ain't gonna look at no filth. Wash machine in there, throw it in there. Now back to what I was saying. When you get to work, you don't see the boss. You clock in and you go to your workstation and you work. You may not even see the boss nothing but walking by. You know what I'm saying? And it's just frustrating to hear this foolishness on social media. It really is. It's a lot of things that's frustrating to a 50-year-old black man, bro. The black woman, probably the most beautiful woman on the earth. literally. But we got a section of them that we can do without. So you wonder why you go to some of these dating events and things of that nature, you see no men. You hardly ever see men, even men in churches declining. For the simple fact, the things that you ask for, leave us alone, this, then the third, is coming to fruition. And so some things, they need to be weeded out. So among black men, they kind of develop a qualification here recently, you know what I'm saying? Where I remember at a time when dating a single mother, it wasn't even a thing. You just, hey, babe, what's going on? These your kids? Like, yeah. Okay, step in, no problem. But now that's a thing. That's because this is an investment. Investments take time, and you want a reward from your investment. But now, some men begin to think or realize it's not a good investment. So this is just part one of being a 50-year-old black man. So I come to you with part two maybe in the next couple of days or maybe later today, but it's part one.